Christopher Nolan has made time bend. Dreams collapse in on themselves and built the atomic bomb on screen. Now, he's doing something he's never done before, adapting a story that isn't his own. A story that's nearly 3,000 years old. This is everything you need to know about the Odyssey, Nolan's biggest, strangest, most expensive swing yet, before it hits theaters July 17th.
Let's start with the facts. The Odyssey is written, directed, and produced by Christopher Nolan, distributed by Universal Pictures, the same studio behind Oppenheimer. It premiered in London on July 6, 2026, with a wide theatrical release on July 17th in the US and UK, following preview showings the night before. It's rated R, and, notably for a Nolan film, relatively lean at around 2 hours and 52 minutes. For comparison, Oppenheimer ran over 3 hours. Nolan himself told the Associated Press this one would be shorter, and he kept his word. The film adapts Homer's ancient Greek epic of the same name, the story of Odysseus, king of Ithaca, and his 10-year journey home after the Trojan War, a voyage packed with monsters, gods, temptations, and a wife back home who's run out of patience.
This might be the single starriest cast Nolan has ever assembled, and that's saying something. Matt Damon leads as Odysseus. Nolan has described the character as complicated, a brilliant strategist, and, in his words, a very wily person. It's Damon's fourth collaboration with Nolan, following Interstellar and Oppenheimer. Anne Hathaway plays Penelope, Odysseus' wife, holding down Ithaca and fending off suitors for a decade. It's her first Nolan role since The Dark Knight Rises and Interstellar over 10 years ago. Tom Holland plays Telemachus, Odysseus and Penelope's son, who comes of age while his father is gone. Then the gods and monsters. Zendaya as Athena, goddess of wisdom. Charlize Theron as Circe, the witch goddess who famously turns men into pigs. Lupita Nyong'o pulling double duty as both Helen of Troy and Clytemnestra. Robert Pattinson plays Antinous, the lead suitor circling Penelope. John Bernthal plays Menelaus. Benny Safdie plays Agamemnon. John Leguizamo plays the loyal swineherd Eumaeus.
And rounding things out, Samantha Morton, Himesh Patel, Elliot Page, Mia Goth, and, in a genuinely unexpected casting choice, rapper Travis Scott as a bard. Nolan explained that one directly. He wanted to draw a line between hip-hop and oral poetry, since Homer's epic was passed down by word of mouth for centuries before it was ever written. So why is the director of Inception and Oppenheimer tackling Homer? In an interview with Empire, Nolan said he's always looking for gaps in cinematic culture, stories that haven't been given the prestige, big-budget treatment they deserve. He pointed to growing up on Ray Harryhausen's stop-motion monster movies and said he'd never seen Greek mythology handled with the weight and scale a modern IMAX blockbuster could give it. This is also Nolan's first film since Oppenheimer swept the 2024 Oscars. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, and more. So the pressure and the curiosity around his follow-up has been enormous. And true to form, he's pushing the format itself. The Odyssey is reportedly the first feature film ever shot entirely on IMAX film cameras. Not just a few sequences, the whole movie. IMAX's CEO has said Nolan is using never-before-seen IMAX technology, and the film will hold exclusive access to IMAX screens for its first 3 weeks of release.
This was a genuinely global production. Principal photography ran from February to August 2025, filming across Italy, Iceland, Greece, Morocco, Scotland, and Ireland, with additional work at Universal Studios in California. Specific locations include Favignana, a small island off Sicily that some scholars believe may be the very place Homer imagined Odysseus and his crew landing. Crews also shot at Findlater Castle in Scotland and at the Moray Firth on the North Sea, where, memorably, a full-scale Viking-style ship was moored during filming. That kind of on-location, practical-first approach is very on-brand for Nolan, who's built a career on real sets, real locations, and real cameras over digital effects wherever possible.
What are the controversies surrounding this movie? Not everything about the Odyssey has been smooth sailing.
Ahead of release, the film's costume and production design, its casting choices, and the accents used by the cast sparked real debate. Critics and classicists weighing in on how historically or culturally accurate the depiction of ancient Greece actually is. Nolan has stayed fairly quiet on exactly how closely the film follows Homer's text. Universal's own marketing only promised a mythic action epic shot across the world, which leaves plenty of room for interpretation, and plenty of room for debate about what counts as a faithful adaptation versus a reinvention. There's also been scrutiny over some of the filming locations, including questions raised by entertainment reporters about shooting in Western Sahara, a detail that's drawn its own share of press attention. Worth noting, Nolan has also chosen not to hold traditional social media influencer screenings for this release, a break from how most blockbusters build hype in 2026. If you don't know Homer's original, quick refresher. After 10 years fighting in the Trojan War, Odysseus tries to sail home to Ithaca. It takes him another 10 years, because pretty much everything that can go wrong does. He blinds the Cyclops Polyphemus and earns the wrath of the sea god Poseidon. He resists, mostly, the deadly song of the sirens. He's trapped for years by the nymph Calypso and turned his men into pigs' company, courtesy of the witch goddess Circe, before she becomes an ally. Meanwhile, back home, Penelope is stalling off a house full of suitors who assume her husband is dead, using tricks like unraveling her weaving each night to buy time. It's one of the oldest hero's journeys in Western storytelling, and basically the blueprint for the long way home adventure structure movies still use today.
Bottom line, the Odyssey opens in theaters and IMAX on July 17th, 2026, with early preview showings starting the evening of July 16th. It's rated R, runs just under 3 hours, and by most accounts is Nolan's most expensive production to date. Whether it ends up being remembered as a bold reinvention of one of the oldest stories we have, or as a lightning rod for how far a faithful adaptation can stretch, this is shaping up to be one of the biggest cinema events of the year. That's everything worth knowing before you buy your ticket. Let me know down in the comments, are you team epic reinvention or team stick closer to Homer? And if you want the full breakdown of the trailer shot by shot, that video's linked right here. Thanks for watching.